Hello everyone, happy Thursday. Welcome to Triple T. Today by the way, Triple T stands for Tips, Tricks, and Tutorials. Today we have a very special guest. We have JJ Gatt on the show, and we are going to be talking all about Pinterest and why you should stop ignoring it. So I'm very excited about this. I've been talking about Pinterest and how people need to just acknowledge its existence and embrace it. And so I'm so glad that you're going to be here. So first we're going to play a very important game, and then I'm going to let you introduce yourself to anyone who's out there who maybe doesn't know who you are. So do you know what the game is?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, you do. You know the game. The game is What's in Your Cup Today. That's where we share with everyone who is watching what we may be sipping on today. We've got the Liquid IV Hydration Multiplier in passion fruit. I will say it's not my favorite. I prefer the orange. So anyone out there, if you're getting it, get the orange flavor. All right. How about you, JJ? What do you have in your cup?
Water. And it's actually a bottle.
Okay. All right.
You stay hydrated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Normally I do a mix of coffee, and I'll drink some wine at the same time, the uppers and downers.
Coffee and wine.
Yes.
I knew there was a reason we were going to be friends. Oh yeah, coffee and wine. Those are my two jams right there. That's awesome. Right. Anyone who is out there as well, hello Chantel. Let us know what you are sipping on, and yes, absolutely, because we're nosy that way. But of course, I first met you, by the way, when I think we was in a Clubhouse room, as we tend to do, right? As many of us tend to be in Clubhouse, or were like a year ago. I was in there a lot more than I am now. And then I got the pleasure of meeting you down at Vid Summit in LA, so in person, which is rare. I think for most of my online friends, it takes several years to ever meet. So you are much more accelerated than most people. So congrats for that. But for people who don't know who you are, I call you the Pinterest lady. In my mind, but you can let the people know who you are. So go ahead.
Yeah. Great. Yeah. Hey, everyone. Thanks for inviting me, Shelly. I'm really excited to be here. I've seen some of your live streams before, and I'm just like, oh my God, I'm going to be on Shelly Saves today. I've watched you for years. I'm having a fangirl moment here.
I've met me. I'm not that great. It's okay. Don't worry.
No, you're so modest. Oh my God. Anyway. Yeah, so I love your videos, especially the vertical video content, because I'm all about vertical video content, and that is the future. So you were kind of like ahead of the game, like way ahead of the game before like everyone else. All these other apps didn't realize that vertical video was going to be the thing for the future, and they were just
where's
thinking,
my paycheck, man?
I don't know. They owe you something. Right? So I'm all about the vertical video. My name is JJ Gatt. I have a Pinterest marketing YouTube channel. And but when I'm not doing Pinterest marketing YouTube videos, I'm on Clubhouse, where I met Shelly, as she said, and I'm hosting rooms on YouTube. I have a club there, the Rising YouTuber Club, which I founded with my sister in order to help our community that's on Clubhouse not reinvent the wheel. Because when we started, we did all the bad practices. Even though we watched you guys, we watched all the YouTubers tell us what to do. People just want to accelerate growth, and they don't want to do it the 100 button videos before you get big. Like, who wants to do that? Like, I want to be big, become part of the program, and start making all the millions like all the big YouTubers, of course. So yeah, that's what we all want to do. So when we realized that it's not smart and we got on Clubhouse, we said, hey, let's help the next generation of people coming behind us do it the right way and learn the practices. And I'm still learning, and I love the beauty of Clubhouse is it allowed me who before I've had several different careers, and the YouTube stuff is really hard. It's one of the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. No joke, it's a grind. I love it, but it's a grind. So when I joined Clubhouse, we started this club to help other people come behind us so they don't have to struggle as much. So when I'm not doing that, I'm doing Clubhouse, and then I'm also managing clients now. So a lot of people that I've met on YouTube or who've met with me wanting to connect for YouTube, but mainly for Pinterest growth, I do that as well. So I help out those guys. So I'm a creator, but I'm also a creator's creator, where I help other creators do what, become, successful on the various different platforms, but primarily focus on vertical video. And that's all I do now. It's kind of like, you got to be
Love
doing
it.
vertical videos no matter where you are. So
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of the reasons I was so excited to have you on, because I have been talking about Pinterest, especially for so long. And with the introduction of these idea pins, which are the vertical videos, and, yes, people don't want to embrace vertical. I did a whole live stream. I've done many live streams on why people should embrace vertical. It won't hurt much. It's fine. But it really is the best tool for repurposing. And I had my mind blown. I had a conversation, I think it was Kristen Hills at one point. I mean, she's fantastic anyway, but she was telling me like a lot of the time, and I've had conversations with other people where they said that most of their revenue comes from affiliate links on products put in Pinterest pins.
Yes.
And I was just like, whoa. And so I want to talk about why it's good for business, why it's good for things like affiliate links, and why there are some of these common misconceptions and myths that we hear, such as like Pinterest is only for women, right? So I think of like, I think it's Jeff Say. I don't know how to say his last name exactly correctly, but the man, the beautiful little Rigoletto, like mustachio. Yeah, right? And he has the whole men's Pinterest thing going. He's got that nailed. I was like, oh my gosh, we have to talk with him sometime. But if you think about, a lot of the people that are on Pinterest are there to buy things. They're getting inspiration and they want to buy something. And so once they see something that they gravitate towards, they will click it. And so the conversion can be much higher over on Pinterest. And not only that, even when you're not trying very hard, they make it so easy from YouTube to share things to Pinterest or to like, and we can talk all about tips, tricks, downfalls, and things not to do. But I had done a video before about driving video traffic to YouTube videos from Pinterest has been surprisingly easy without even trying. So imagine if we like actually put some effort into it. So we're going to dive into all of this. If you all in the chat have questions, comments, concerns about Pinterest, put it in the chat. That way JJ can also take a look at it. Oh, no, you're good. And then maybe we can pick a whole bunch of those things to talk about as well. So I would say let's start off with, what do you see some very common mistakes when it comes to Pinterest and things that people should be aware of, like not to do right away?
Okay. The first thing I would say, if you are going to use Pinterest to drive traffic to your YouTube channel, you can hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So if you're going to use Pinterest to drive traffic to your YouTube channel to get more subscribers, new fans, grow audience, grow a community using Pinterest, the first thing you should do is to claim it for business. And if you've been using Pinterest for personal, because I have, when I started, I know a lot of us, for those who don't know, Pinterest is like a visual bulletin board. I akin it to the closest thing to it is kind of like a vision board. So people put aspirational content, outfits they want to wear, dishes they want to prepare, exercise routines they want to do because they're trying to get fit, DIY projects. If they're planning a baby shower, they're crowdsource all of their different ideas for their baby shower before they go purchase. And so for a lot of people, use it for their personal use, not for business. The minute you want to change it for business and you want to do what Shelly mentioned about drive traffic, convert your affiliate links so you're making money. And I know people who've like retired their spouses, quit their jobs based on the money they made on Pinterest. It was just like amazing. So the minute you want to do that, the first thing you want to do is claim your Pinterest for business, because what happens is when you claim it for business, meaning like there's a few steps you have to do. It's not really complicated. What happens, you unlock so much potential, and you unlock data, analytics, trends, insights. They send you like a manager, like an ad manager, in case you want to do paid ads or things like that. So you are automatically put in a separate category from people who just using it just for their own personal purposes. So that's the first common misconception, is that Pinterest is not for business and it's just a personal space. So if you think that is, then that's fine. But there's a lot of money being left on the table. And then when I was tweeting out this room and sharing this room with audiences, like for social. I was like I always tell people, and when I see YouTubers and have amazing content, especially the food YouTubers, and the fashion YouTubers, and the tech
Yes.
YouTubers, the guys, like if you're a guy, you're not on Pinterest. It's like you have this massive space when there's not a lot of you, but there are men on Pinterest. The audience is skewing younger. It's a bridge of balance where it's not really women anymore. Gen Z, the Zoomer generation, actually are driving the trends, and there are a lot of guys. My son is 17, 16, and he has a Pinterest board. And when he wanted to go get outfits or something like that, he created a Pinterest board. So he's a dude, he's a guy. So a lot of younger generation aren't stuck on that old mentality like it's a woman's platform. So the first thing is to shield or shed, or what's the word? Is shed or I don't know, get rid of all of your preconceived notions about it being just a platform for personal, just a platform for women, and embrace it as a business tool, as a place where there are your audience, they're your customers, they're your viewers, they're potential downloaders of your podcaster. They're waiting for you, but they will never see you because they don't go to YouTube and they don't go to Google when they want an idea. They go to Pinterest. So if you're not there with a presence saying, come back over to my YouTube channel, they'll never see you. So I think that's the first thing, is like to shed that misconception that Pinterest is only for personal and only for women and not for
Absolutely.
business.
Too huge right there off the bat that you've started with, because I have polled people in the past, and almost always the guys are like, oh, that's just a site for girls who are trying to get married. That's just a site for girls who are trying, different things like that, where you have these life events, like a baby shower, or you're getting ideas for Christmas decorations, or you're, these little buying a new house and decorating it. It seems like every time, like I would poll a lot of my audience, who happens to be a lot of dudes, they'd be like, oh, I don't go on Pinterest. I don't do Pinterest. But it's amazing that there, even if we were to just say, okay, sure, Pinterest is, let's say, a huge community of women. Here's one thing I find so interesting about it is the data is so empirical that shows that they buy. They're there gathering ideas for their wedding. They're gathering, or their baby shower or whatever it is, but they're ready to make buying decisions. So if you make a video, if you make something, if you make it like so easy for them to purchase said thing that you're going to make into a recipe, or the exact tile cutter that you use to DIY the whatever, like people will click on it and buy it. It's crazy. And I found, as I've started to spend a little more time on Pinterest, not a lot, just a little, but like I get mad when there are things like I call it like disrespecting the platform that you're on. So when you put on like a widescreen video in Pinterest, no one wants to watch that. They want to see the vertical, or they want to see the pictorial that has the steps 1 through 4 list in a tall, 1,000 by 1,500 type. And I'm like, I have done this before, where like the bare minimum that you can do is like right underneath your YouTube video is at least the share button. It will share the thumbnail and it will click back into a YouTube video. That is like step 1 bare minimum, right? But like I had said like before, I was like, take that thumbnail, just rearrange it to a tall thing, and then have it link back to the YouTube video. It's not that much harder, but it stands out so much more. And I think I tried to show an example of it in that video. But what do you see as like, really, if you are, let's say, trying to drive traffic back to YouTube, what are some bad things that people do, or things that they really shouldn't do when they're trying to like think of that conversion?
Okay, so the bad things that people do is maybe when they repurpose content, I think you kind of said it, is like they just do it as an afterthought, where instead of being more methodical and make the conscious decision to say that part of my marketing, when I do my YouTube video and I want to promote it outside, if I'm going to do that, because there are a school of thought and there are some people who only want to let YouTube do its job and get the right audience for them. And so if you're not in that school of thought and you are okay with marketing and promoting your video outside, you have a plan in which the way that you promote your video out. And usually, and the people who are methodical and purposeful and have a plan do better. And there are folks who just are haphazard. They just let it happen and they luck out. So all the power to you folks. Good. I wish I were you, but I'm not. And so part of your plan is I'm going to tweet out, because this is what I do. For example, I would tweet out a video, and I am queen of repurpose. And now I'm on Clubhouse. It's like I would take a Clubhouse room or YouTube video that I've done. I would do a Clubhouse room, chop up that video, but adjust it for the platform, like you said. So I would do a square with go on Canva. It's so easy with one touch of button, even if it's long or if it's a horizontal YouTube thumbnail. I push a button, it automatically converts it for Instagram. And I can use that same thumbnail, take the audio that I just clipped down. Clubhouse now lets you download audio. I put it into my editor, and I chop up a nice little piece that has great sound bites, and I just pin that on my Instagram. Then I take that same square, that same sound, I take it, then I'll take it to YouTube, and I'll tweet it. There's a special way you can check out my YouTube channel on how to share YouTube videos on Twitter, because Twitter is a great platform actually for helping you get traffic. It helps me. Like when I look at my analytics, I'm getting a lot of my traffic coming from Twitter, interestingly enough. But you have your hashtag strategy, put it on Twitter, and then take that same content. On Canva, you can click a button, say Pinterest size, and it just converts your long video into your long thumbnail from your horizontal thumbnail from YouTube, your square from Pinterest, your square from Twitter, and maybe you might do a square horizontal if you're uploading onto Facebook or another platform, and you can actually convert it into a Pinterest size. And so respect the platform, like you said, and then what you want to do is link back, add that link, and add a little bit more, do a little bit keyword research. I know it might be a little bit extra step, but it really does matter because Pinterest is the third largest search engine in the world. Number one is Google, as you probably know. Number two is YouTube. And number three is Pinterest. So because it's a search platform, everything you do for YouTube, you can do for Pinterest. It's a no-brainer. It's not like you have to learn anything. And what I always tell YouTubers, and that's why they drive me crazy, because I'm just like, oh my God, you have such great content. Like if you could just license that to me, I can go add some affiliate links and go make some money off this. Since you're leaving it here on YouTube and people aren't going to see you, give me that food content, give me that DIY, give me that haul, give me that thing you just did on your YouTube channel. Let me convert it to a vertical video and put it on Pinterest, add my affiliate links, and make the money that you're not making because you don't want to go over to Pinterest. So with a few steps, I can just take it from a horizontal to a vertical video, put it on Pinterest, put my direct link, add the keywords. So when people are searching, they find it. And then when I do that and they'll see it, they'll say, oh, wow, this is great. Where is this? When they click through, they come straight to your YouTube channel. Because you did that extra step, you made it easier for them. You put it in a format that they're familiar with. They're more likely to feel comfortable with clicking through, saying if they're horizontal, like, who is this person? Like, where they come from? Like, who raised them? Like,
who raised you?
You know what I mean? So when you just do those little steps, just like, and I swear in Canva, you push a button and all of a sudden, voila, it's in the Pinterest format, and just add your link there, do the keywords, and it's done. It's just a part of being methodical and saying, I'm going to include this as part of my marketing plan. So one of my steps in marketing my video.
I'm really glad that you mentioned about the search functionality, because people do forget that Pinterest is a search engine, and it's just not in the traditional sense that you always put in a full query and you get exactly it's not the same. I mean, they do have some of these kind of like interests and boards and different things like that, but if you start to understand the Pinterest ecosystem, how once you start searching for something and then all of a sudden it suggests something else, you see it has a built-in algorithm as well, not only similar to like a YouTube style, but also in just what it returns and what it thinks that like is related that you want to see as well. Now, one thing that people I think commonly get wrong about Pinterest is that, let's just say they think it's only for, if it's just for a YouTube video. Oh, where's that coming from?
I don't hear it.
Do you guys hear that echo? It just started. It just started now.
I don't hear it. Do you guys hear echo? Let's see.
Oh no. Okay. I think it's just me though. So let me know if you guys are hearing me.
Okay.
But I was gonna say, one thing that's interesting is that you can have a Pinterest pin come back to like an Instagram post.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about that? Because I feel like that's an unknown thing that a lot of people don't do.
Yes. When I say Pinterest for business, it means before, and you might have remembered this, Pinterest was for bloggers. A lot of bloggers used it, or people had a business, because how you get your Pinterest images on Pinterest is that someone sees your thumbnail, or someone sees go to a website and they see an image and they say, oh, I want to save this article. I want to save this look. And they pin it onto their pin board on Pinterest. And then all of their followers, I have 40,000 followers. So all of my 40,000 followers, when I pin it, it's on my board. When they come visit my board, if I pin your content to my board, that's instant virality, because then all my 40,000 people now, because I pinned your content, if they click through, they're going to click through your video as well, and they're going to see it. So now you can claim an Instagram account, a YouTube channel, an Etsy shop, Shopify. And so Pinterest is now integrated with other social media platforms as well. So people use, and I have the first brand deal I've gotten ever in my life was because of Pinterest. And what happened, yay, because I was just pinning things. I had a blog. I'm a OG blogger. So back in the day, so I had several blog properties, and people would just pin pictures. It was very image intensive, and so folks will find the articles from Google. They would pin the images, and I would get all this traffic. At one point, it was Pinterest was the number one driver of traffic. I didn't know what it was. I just saw I was getting a lot of traffic, and the first like viral pin was a photo of Sofia Vergara when she was, she's a actress known for Modern Family, but before that, she was a beauty queen and she was a model. And so there's a picture of her in her back. So all these women want that back. Guys were like, like, wow, that's a great, back. And so people were pinning it, and I was getting all this traffic to my website, just randomly, organically. And then the people on Pinterest they work at brands, they work for companies, just like how you use it for personal. All the people who work at the brands that you want to work with, they use it for personal well. So if they bump into your video, you've pinned a vertical version of your thumbnail onto Pinterest, you're answering a question, you're talking about something, and they say, wow, this would be great for the campaign. Who is this? I love how they look. I love this teaser content. They click to your video, they see you, they discover you, they see you have a whole library full of videos like this, and they contact you. But it starts because you decided to take that step and take your thumbnail and put it on Pinterest. And then people who would not go to YouTube found it, and then they found you that way. So and then you're right, Shelly, when you said that the Pinterest user, the reason why there might be more premium over others is because it's a platform where people go to make decisions to buy. They're already in the buying plan, where you think of search queries and people have a search intent. If I search for ideas, and so I'll click, I might get blogs. But if I say I'm looking specifically for the right spray to use to reupholster to resurface my desk, I'm looking for that. I want to resurface my desk. All of those things are things that I want to purchase. If someone has a kit, if there's a book, if someone's selling that spray, if someone has, a video channel full of DIY, I'm going to subscribe because I need to know how to do it. And I also have a whole room full of stuff that I want to reupholster. So I discover your channel because I went to Pinterest looking for something, and you who have a channel to focus on that, I bump into your thumbnail with your Pinterest pin, and links me back to your video, and I discover you that way. So I wouldn't have normally gone to you because I don't go to YouTube for ideas. I go to Pinterest for ideas. So yeah, definitely it's a great place for moving people from one social platform for another. The best obviously is your own YouTube channel, your own website if you have it, because you own that. But it's still great for getting the eyeballs of either people who work at brands or people who would be customers who wouldn't normally go to YouTube to get off your channel. And I saw Annette ask a question about real estate. I don't know if you want to answer questions yet, but
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Do you want to?
Yeah. So she just asked, how would you, if you're a realtor, use Pinterest? There's so many different ways. I see realtors on there crushing it. And the first thing I would say is, and I think I told you this one time in a room, is go on Pinterest. And for your specific location, you can type in your location. And then when you do claim purchase for business, add the fact that you're a realtor in this specific community in your title. So anyone who's on Pinterest, who goes to Pinterest, who's from, let's say, Scottsdale, Arizona, for example, and they type Scottsdale, Arizona realtor or houses in Scottsdale because they're looking to relocate. They want to go there and they want to see what it looks like. What are the restaurants? What are the places to eat? What's the sites? What's the cost of living? And on your realty website, you have a blog, and on your blog, you tell people that sort of stuff like that. The cost, the price of a home, what's the real estate market looking like, what's the best restaurants. And you have those blog articles and you pin them on Pinterest and they discover you and they go and say, oh, wow, this is a realtor in that area. And if they're looking to relocate, they may contact you. If they know someone else in that area, they have you down and they've pinned your pin onto their board. So they have you for life. So they're ready to make that purchase or ready to make that move. Then they remember that you're there because they pinned you there and they go and they make that call. So that's how you do it if you're a realtor.
I would do it as a multi-pronged approach as well. So I would do some with the blog posts, and then I would take those blog posts and I would make them into like infographic type of things, and have them like on some sort of carousel or like on some sort of, like pretty graphic. I would then speak those same tips and put them as part of a video carousel. I would make that video and put it up on YouTube as well. But I would also then have boards specifically for like best restaurants in Arizona, best sports events to visit in Arizona and have all of these types of boards, which is, like living in Arizona, so that you become the only person that is like covering every single aspect of this. And this is where you can go very niche specific and, maybe even location specific to be like,
I love it.
right. And be like, these are the best recipes and these are the best, these are the most popular dogs in this area. And this is like, if you're a biker, these are the most done trails, or if you're doing whatever it is, right? Or these are the top colleges in this area. And this is like everything that would make you the expert as whatever real estate agent area that you're in. That would be those boards, those videos, those pins. And I don't think there's a thing is like almost too much of anything on Pinterest of the same type of thing, because people are looking for it. And some people like the videos, some people like the infographics, some people like whatever. And let's say you made a really awesome Instagram post. They have the ability, you can go in there and then go and find the link to that specific Instagram post, bring it into Pinterest, and it will then, if people click on it, just take people back to your Instagram. So, I mean, it will bring in the photo, like you can tag it all up, with the little hashtags that you want to, and then you can still drive people to your Instagram. So there's a lot of different ways that you can tackle that. But
I love that. That was great. That was a master class. I hope you were taking notes in that.
And you're welcome.
Yeah. She said thanks.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And now let's talk a little bit about video pins. This is one of their newest things that they've offered. They have basically kind of this spinning carousel of like you can do 10, one up to 60 seconds vertical videos inside of each of these little types of carousels. You can even go back later and add videos to them. But I have noticed a few quirks, like you can't necessarily go in and edit the links or the description. So you have to get that right the first time, but you can add additional videos and stuff. Do you have any tips and strategy when it comes to doing the vertical video idea pins?
Right. Okay. So here's the thing with idea pins is they don't let you link it. And you're right. You have to plan it before. And so you have to have a strategy. With the vertical idea pins, it's the equivalent of Instagram Reels. So if you guys are familiar with Reels, you know that Instagram's going all in on Reels. That's all they push. That's all they promote. Similar with YouTube. YouTube does obviously promote its long form video content, but they're going all in on shorts. So they're doing all things shorts, all things promoting shorts, helping you support you if you have shorts content. So that is what idea pins is for Pinterest. They're going all in. So part of any strategy, I'll say if you were doing vertical video static pins or video pins, you want to make sure you do idea pins first, and then you do your static and your video pins separate, because they're going to get more reach. So if you do, let's say, like you said just now, you have one piece of content and you mass produces and repurposes in sort of different ways. One of the first ways on Pinterest needs to be idea pins, and it's 1 to 20 slides, video or static content, but video. Pinterest itself, best practice is the first slide should be a video or movable text. And then the natural eye, you think about when you put up a search, even on Instagram, you'll see the videos when people are moving, because they have that, YouTube does that with the thumbnails. It's going to catch your eye. You're going to look to what's moving instead of scanning a bunch of just search results that are all static. Your eye naturally is going to gravitate to what's moving. That's why they say do video first. And you don't even have to have a bunch of slides, actually. So I discovered recently, and that's what I do on my YouTube channel, is that if you do this is why repurposing is good. If you've done one vertical video on TikTok and Reels, you could take that one slide vertical video and put an idea pins and explode, and don't even have to do anything. And editing is hard after, like you said, you can't edit after the fact. But if you plan it, you can actually add an affiliate link to that pin. For example, I'm working with a client, and she's a YouTuber, and she does hairstyles for kids, and she's a family YouTuber. And so what we did, we repurposed the YouTube video she did, and we made it vertical. And in it, she's showing how to detangle hair, how to detangle her child's hair. So in the second video, she says, I use this. And then in her YouTube video, she has 4 or 5 affiliate links that's related products that she uses while she's detangling her daughter's hair. And she can take those links on idea pins and put them there. So if that video, that one slide idea pin goes viral, and she has that link there, all the people who see it are going to also be able to click and buy that comb, that detangle comb, or that detangle conditioner, whatever that she used on there. So that's the best practice for idea pins is, they say 1 to 8 slides, but I don't even think you need to do that. You could just do one.
I just do one. I do
Yeah,
one.
good. Don't even bother.
And
It was
sometimes
like,
I put a link. But do you think it's better to do 10 separate ones or do one with 10 things in this in the carousel or slide?
oh, okay, you could do all the things, but it's like YouTube. It's just like TikTok. It's just like Shorts. It's just like Reels. The hook. You have to hook people in the beginning so they watch it. Be providing some sort of interesting new take or some sort of new perspective on something they never done. You know who does really well? Those people who do the poses. Like if you're gonna pose like this, and it's kind of boring and it's basic, but you just tilt the camera this way, turn it this way, do the wide angle, and then you're like, wow, that's amazing. So those people do really great. Or the people who say, you're posing, you're going to pose like this in front of a national monument. Here's how you pose in front of a national monument when you're on vacation. That just gives you wow bang for your buck or whatever like that. So you can do all that in one slide on Pinterest. You don't necessarily have to have more, but if you want to, I think you can do well if people can slide through. I've had viral pins based on one slide, and that you mentioned an infographic for and that for real. I've had viral pins also be infographics. So the key is that you're giving people information that they don't normally have, a new take, a new something that is like mind blowing. You're like, oh wow, I never knew this. So anything that does that is going to do super well. If you're making a dish, or one of my viral pins that just got 1 million impressions is detox this green tea. It was trending a little while ago. But if you hop on trends, do something that has a hook in the beginning, right in the beginning. And the other thing is if you can leave an emotion. I mean, same thing you do for Instagram, same thing you do for YouTube. It's like you have to leave people with some sort of emotion when they're feeling satisfied, humored, inspired, whatever it is, like entertained. Give them something that makes them feel like connected to your content and make them want to watch it and keep on your idea pin. And that's it. And that's the same thing that you do for cross platform. So if you're doing that for Reels anyway, you're doing that for TikTok anyway, you're doing that for Shorts anyway, it's going to work on Instagram idea pins as well, because it's the same concept of giving people something different and giving them, something that they can hold on to, that it changes their life. Like, oh my God, mind blown. Like I'm today
Yeah.
years old when I found out this.
Today years old. Yep, always. So
Right.
many times.
Yeah.
Yes, TikTok makes me feel like that sometimes. Oh, oh yeah.
Because makes you
Okay.
feel old all the time.
No, not just that, but it will be like, did you know that this like comes up and you're like, you've been cleaning it wrong for your whole life, and you're like, no, and you see
Right,
the people
right.
are like, oh my gosh, today
Or did
years
you know you
old.
can just lift this button? This button
Yes,
was for this. You're like, what?
and you're like,
I've been letting this thing
no,
go
I
all
didn't
these
know.
years.
Yeah. Now, actually, so my personal take on it is, I know that I can fill up 10 slides, but I actually do 10 separate one video, like carousels, basically. That way,
Yeah, that's
because
good.
like when you go to your homepage, at least it has more videos like plastered across, so it makes it
Yeah.
look like I'm more productive than I am. Well, that's an insider. That's just me exposing myself. So, Sketch My Story also had a comment. I'm going to put it up on screen. But Dutch Can Jam also said, my mind is blown by your repurposing strategy and workflow. So, he's giving you a hands up, like, you are the best.
Yay.
So,
Thanks.
Sketch My Story is saying, wow, JJ, I didn't realize all this about Pinterest. So, I paint mandala rocks and sell my Udemy course on that on the YouTube channel. Is it mandala? I don't know. I'm pretty sure I always say it wrong, but I should be doing Pinterest. And I would say if you
Yeah.
are an arts and crafts DIY, absolutely do time lapses, do videos, show it, like then link to your course, link to your videos, especially anything visually beautiful like art, crafts, food. Absolutely, you should be all over Pinterest. Artists should be all over Pinterest. The amount of Procreate tutorials I watch there, I mean, it's just mind blowing. But you have thoughts on that?
Oh no, I think that's great. Anything that's visual. I mean, I know it has its stereotype, and we try to say you can be a man and do things, and you don't have to be a woman or certain things. But however, you are absolutely correct that there are certain categories of content that do really well. Anything visual, painting, art, photography, and Pinterest has actually done a lot in the past years to make it so that your works, you can track down people who are pirating. I know a lot of photographers and people who have intellectual property have been wary of Pinterest because it's a nice place for people to steal your content and just share it because it's it's kind of like that's my picture. So you can actually claim it and you can actually claim your domain and click it. And so they made it so they can take down content if it's yours. But if you're showing people how to do something, like if you're showing have a DIY project, that's like perfect. That's it's like a no-brainer. And there's a lot of parents on there, people looking for kids, and there's crafters, there's tons of crafters on Pinterest. So if anything you can do is in the category of craft, it's like, please go over there and so it's really just like you said, just make it part of your workflow. If you're going to be repurposing anyway, just add it one. I know some people be like, oh my God, not another platform. Like, no, I just figured out Reels. But here's the thing with YouTubers, is kind of like you have a leg up as a YouTuber is because you're already comfortable with video. We're telling the Pinterest people now who used to just putting their links to their blog because they're writers and they're not video content creators. We're telling them you have to get used to it. And they're like, do I have to? We're like, yeah. So if you're a YouTuber, you've already crossed that bridge. That was like 6 months ago when you were like, not liking your voice, not liking how you look on camera, all that uncertainty and getting equipment. That was you a long time ago. You're here now where you're comfortable with your channel. You're comfortable with how you look, or maybe not, but you're okay with it being out there. And so you have a leg up on the Pinterest creators who are now having to pivot. And that's why Instagrammers, is that what they're called? Instagram real people are crushing it. Like if you go on that platform, that's all you see there is because those people who do those Instagram videos are already video content creators. And so it's not any much work for them to go on Pinterest. So you kind of like have a competitive leg up by being a video content creator to go on Pinterest now anyway.
Like that they're pushing the vertical video because I've always said it's the easiest to repurpose because you can put it everywhere, right? TikTok and Instagram and YouTube Shorts. But it's just, it's one more place. But like, I just take some of I usually record outside of the app and then I just start distributing it, right? So I just did a YouTube short about this box of chocolate things that YouTube sent over, and it was on Instagram Reels, it's on YouTube Shorts, it's on a Pinterest pin, it's on like TikTok, it's everywhere because once I have it, I can put it on any of those platforms, like, and it doesn't have to be in the same hour or the same day even, but it's like, it's really easy if you just work it into your flow to at least have this piece of content to put up on the platform. So there is a comment here from Hawa Bunga.
Oh, Howabunga, the sister.
Is this the photographer? The one that owes you another photo shoot?
Yeah, she did a photo. She did,
this is your photographer sister. Awesome. She's saying, what's the best way to sell on Pinterest using story pins?
Oh, okay, yeah. So it's idea pins is what they're called now. They used to be called story pins, but they just changed it because they were just biting off of like Snap stories and Instagram story. And they've realized that we want to focus on what they're about is idea. The easiest way, is that the question, is the easiest way or the best way? Okay, the best way the best way to sell, I always say if you have your own platform. So for those of you who actually have like a website, that's really great because when you think about when someone comes back to a platform that you own, you can convert them in so many different ways. One, if you have ads on that platform, you're going to get their ad dollars. Two, if you're mentioning a product, if you have an affiliate sale, you get commission, you get the commission dollars. Three, if you have a pop-up, when they come on, you say, hey, thanks for joining, thanks for coming to my website. Join 5,560 people on the list. So you got them on your email list where you can nurture them later on. Four, you can take your YouTube video and put it on there and get them as a YouTube viewer or a subscriber or a watcher or a commenter. And then a fifth way, if you have sponsors, you can tell a sponsor, hey, I got you on your YouTube. I can connect it to my audience here on my site. And also because YouTube and Google go hand in hand, if you do a YouTube video and use the exact title from your YouTube video for your blog article, people can find you different ways and embed that YouTube video in your blog article. That's double the YouTube likes that. The YouTube algorithm loves that because it's kind of like, aha, I'm reading the search query. So if somebody has the answer's in this blog. And if they're a visual person and they want to see how it's done, it's in this video that's in this blog. So I always tell people if you're going to sell anything, the website and make a Pinterest pin that links back to your website. And here's the money part. And if you can, ads are cheap. You can get like a $3 ad for 3 days, and that's going to drive some organic traffic to that pin. And so, not organic is paid traffic to the pin. But after that, after the $3 run out, then it starts picking up steam organically. So you kind of like pay to play a little bit when you do static pins right now because Pinterest is pushing idea pins. And so for story pins, I would just do the affiliate link, like I mentioned earlier, take the affiliate link for the product and link it in that pin, the first slide or the whichever. If you do 10 individual slides, just add the tag. I have a video on my channel that shows you how to add that tag. I'm going to update it, but I have one that shows you how to add the affiliate link to an idea pin so you can make money off of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think one thing that you just mentioned right there is there's already different types of content that people are making. So maybe they just made a blog post, maybe they just made a YouTube video that they're embedding in the blog post, right? But now, if you think about it, can you link to Pinterest from that blog? Yep. Can you link to Pinterest from that YouTube video that's embedded in that blog? Yep. Yes. Can you make an infographic specifically for Pinterest that like goes to the affiliate link or whatever that you're selling, or to your blog or to your YouTube video? Yep. Then can you go in there and make an idea? So here's the thing is, one nice thing about Pinterest is you can conglomerate all of these things, right. Even the same piece of content, right? And you can just keep finding different ways to resurface different pins for the same piece of content. So it's really Pinterest itself is like this repurposing tool that a lot of people don't even think about.
Yes, and you can download with no watermark. Like, I don't know if you can download on Instagram with no watermark, or TikTok. TikTok, you can use an app, or there's different ways you can do it, but they don't make it easy to download without watermark. But on Pinterest, you can download all 4 slides into one nice video with no watermarks. So then you can repurpose it. So you can start with Pinterest instead of starting with TikTok.
Instead of ending with it or thinking of it as an afterthought. You could even start there, because sometimes it is harder to remove it from the other places, whether it's in the app or the different tricks and workarounds that, people have to do, or, create it outside of any app.
Yes, I would love that.
Yeah. Okay, there was another question here. It says, is there a place that you can find trends on Pinterest? So I know I would probably just say like Google Trends, a lot of the time, or seasonality is going to take into effect some of the things that might be trending on Pinterest. But for pinners, is there a place that they go, kind of like Google Trends, that they might look at for Pinterest trends?
Yes, this is like a gimme. Thanks, and that's like a gimme question. Like, that's perfect. Like, that's right up my alley. And I always tell people, actually, you said Google Trends. I like Pinterest trends. They have the trends as well, because they show you these graph lines. Like there's certain other tools out there that have, like, when they show, I don't know if Google Trends does that, but it tells you how popular it is, if it's rising in popularity. And we all know from the reels, sounds, whenever something's trending, you want to hop on it. Even on YouTube, when something's trending, you're going to get more traffic because everyone's searching for it, and it picks up in browser recommended, because they know people are looking for this content. So all the algorithms wants to satisfy the hunger of the audiences. So Pinterest has its own trends. And once you unlock Pinterest for business, you see me smiling because it's like one of my favorite things about Pinterest, I think. And I was telling somebody the other day, it's the best thing about it. Once you unlock it for business, when you get in, it's going to show you trends. So it tells you what's trending today, what was trending yesterday, what's trending tomorrow. And then you can actually, in various different categories, they tell you what's trending this week, and they show you the lines that say, look, it's on the upswing. And I've gotten so much success when I see something is trending. And sometimes that's what I do first. I start my day and I go to see what's trending today, yesterday, tomorrow, and next week. And then what I do is I don't create new content. I have so much content. I have enough content. I go on my bag of tricks. And if you're selling a product, if you're a seller, or you're a YouTuber and you have already done a video on this piece of content before in the past and it's trending, don't do it over again. Take that old piece of content, if it's still relevant, you can update it with the title, with the trends, with that, and take that same video, that same product that, if it's still in your shop or whatever like that, and pin it because it's trending. So you don't have to create anything new. You just have to watch the trends. And so in it tells you the trends for the different categories: nails, travel, real estate. I don't know if it's not for real estate, but food, fashion, hair, beauty, all the different things. And you click it, they give you all the different categories, and they show you the trend lines, and it changes all the time. You go back next week, the things that were trending are no longer, they have new things. So you're always staying ahead of the trends. So that's where you use it.
Would you say, so a car is asking, is video content preferred over photos to generate more engagement on Pinterest? Do you see the trend really going to video, or, are photos okay over there, or infographics still okay?
Yeah, I think infographics and photos are still okay. Here's a difference between the ones where they're going on. People will find them. I still have solid just images that still, get traffic. They're just circulating in the platform. And when I look at my analytics, the top 10 performing are all pictures. So it's not video content. I think they're legacies. items anyway. But because there's two different ways you get found. One is when the platforms help you, the algorithms help you and put you in front of people. So Pinterest algorithms right now are preferring video content. You guys know the concept of if this, then that. So if it is an idea pin, then they're going to promote it. If it's a static pin, they may not necessarily algorithmically promote it. However, then you can take control of something, because you're not going to have the help of the platform unless you buy an ad, is by having your keywords in your title, your description, the alt text. This is an SEO sort of thing like that. But all of those things tell the algorithm that that's what this pin is about. So when someone has a search query and they're looking to see what piece of content on the platform satisfy that search query, if you had optimized that pin to include all that stuff, all that metadata, your pin will go up in front of them. So that's how you can control it, because otherwise, it's not algorithmically, it won't be promoted, but you can still get found. I have static pins get found all the time. I'm like, whoa, I pinned that like 2007 and it's still getting, because someone searched for it and it was the only thing that showed up. So that's how come I know the search still works, because they wouldn't have found that pin because it's a static pin, it's an old pin. Pinterest isn't promoting that, but it's because I had the keywords in it. So the platform prefers video, but you can still get reach with static images if you just optimize each pin that you pin and past pins. You can always optimize past pins. Idea pins are hard to change, but you can optimize past pins in the past.
Now, I know for some people who may not be necessarily running a business, there's still some personal reasons why you might use Pinterest, including the integrations with other platforms, such as like if you're selling items out of your closet for Poshmark, or if you have something maybe that you're selling on Etsy, there are still times when you can go directly from those platforms into Pinterest, and it will then take people directly back into your Poshmark closet or something like that. So if you have a pair of boots that you're trying to sell, it's going to, right? You can put it on your Pinterest pin because they have a whole section for Poshmark, which people will search for. And then if someone says, ooh, these boots are cute or whatever, they'll take you to the Poshmark closet so that they can make that purchase. So I think Pinterest is one of those it seems to be very integrated within lots of other apps, and it's not afraid to kind of share traffic back and forth. Like, yeah, go to this blog post and you'll probably be back. Or, yeah, go to this website and then you'll be back. And so I kind of feel like it's the facilitator sometimes between what someone's looking for and usually that end destination of like where they're trying to go or where they're trying to go and buy something.
Yes. I just said it perfectly. And then I every month I get a check from Shop Style or Reward Style from pins, affiliate links from, like you said, because Shop Style and Reward Style are integrated. When you're on that site and you're like looking for something, they have the pin button, you pin it and it goes straight to your Pinterest account. And then, it was like some purple lipstick. It went viral. So people were buying it. And then some nail polish. It's like when I look at the sales, like what's the affiliate, what's the money for? It's for some nail polish. So I was like, oh, this is cute. But because you said it's integrated, I just said, oh, let me share this on Pinterest. This is cute. Yeah. Somebody might buy it. Click. And then with one push of a button, it's in the Pinterest platform. And if it gets discovered, it goes viral. There you go.
I'm really interested to see and start integrating, because I just started doing these Amazon videos, short shoppable videos, or things like I'm creating like a little infographic shoppable photo posts inside of my Amazon influencer store to see if I can like maybe bring traffic back to that with the same graphic, or if they have some sort of integration kind of like they do with Instagram. So I'm going to be playing around with that in this next week, because I'm just curious, because right now I might do an idea pin and then put the Amazon affiliate link, but it might be kind of a cool way to send them back and forth too. Okay,
so get that traffic,
right? So Sketch My Story says, I'm so amazed at everything I'm learning, yet, oh no, another platform stress is real. So I believe you also offer a service where you might be even like helping people with their Pinterest strategy or kind of doing it for them. Is that correct? You want to tell people about that?
Yeah, sure. For sure. First of all, I have in my, I don't know if you pinned it downstairs in the description, I have a Pinterest for business. So if you haven't yet connected your YouTube channel, that walks you through the process of connecting it for business. Like I said, you don't have to buy an ad. You think business, you're like, oh God, they're going to try to, somebody might call you by doing an ad. But what business does, it puts you, it makes you, especially if you're a creator, you unlock this creator hub where you get more access to data, more analytics, more everything. And the trends, like I said, the trend data, which is really, really great. You don't get that. You can't do an idea pin as a personal account. You can only do it as a business account. So in that checklist, it's a checklist. And then what happens, I put you through my email sequence, and I just share videos every once in a while. When I do a Pinterest, I do several types of videos on my channel. One, it's kind of like I'm starting a Pinterest 101 where every week I haven't done it this week, but I'm trying to post like 2 to 3 just basic, like how to add music. That's it. That's the video. How to add music. Like how to add a link. That's the video. Just how to, not 10 things to do on Pinterest, that one thing you need to do. Just that's it. Like, how do I claim this for business? Like, where do I go? And then I have the what's new in Pinterest, because it changes, like Instagram, like YouTube, the platform changes. And so you may be doing something the old fashioned way. Like, for example, we have these tools that we both work with, the tools that add on to YouTube. And if you didn't have that tool, you'd be doing it manually. And you're like, wait a minute, this tool figures out my keywords by myself. I don't have to go do keyword research, trend data. And so similarly, if you're on Pinterest, you can just, what am I talking about? I kind of lost my train of thought there. But if you're on, if you have the tool data, you just, it's easier to just integrate it, and you're going, what was the question? I'm sorry, I think I lost my train of thought.
No, it's okay. It happens to me all the time. Everyone who watches any of my, I have an extreme squirrel brain. We were talking about how you are also able to help others, and we were also going to say for anyone who's watching this, the link to JJ's YouTube channel is not only in the description, but the link to the free freebie that she has about how to integrate your YouTube channel with a business account on Pinterest instructions is also in the description. So click on that so you can also get that. But you also offer services and consultation when it comes to how to use Pinterest and Pinterest for business, correct? So if people needed additional help or wanted you to help them with that, they could reach out to you to schedule time to chat about that as well, right?
Definitely. Yeah, I'm helping some folks in different parts of the niche who so jewelry makers, YouTubers. I have some people who make soaps, as product folks, entrepreneurs, people who like sell information. So for example, if you're a coach or you do challenges because you're a fitness professional, things like that. So there's also there's lots of spaces and different ways for people to use Pinterest. So yeah, definitely. Thanks for the plug. Thanks for the intro.
Of course, yes.
I was like, I had my squirrel brain moment. I'm like, what am I talking about?
Oh, me all the time. All the time. Plus, you said coffee and wine. We are just buddies meant to be. Now, I have a question. When you then look at someone's Pinterest profile, is there anything that immediately will come up as like this red flag? It's like, this is just not. Girl, what are you doing? Guy, what are you doing? This is not it.
Yeah, the people who repurpose other people's content, like intellectual property, that's not good. So those people who they're curators, like they curate the best of Vine, the best of TikTok, the best of Shorts, the best of a meme that everyone did the meme. So take all these different people's content. They do really well on Pinterest. That's like they do well on other platforms, like the curated sites just blow up because it's one place people love. They don't want to have to do the search and go find all these things and click all these different videos. They want one video that shows them all the trends in one video. So there's a trend where people know they can get a lot of reach on TikTok, just sharing TikToks, just repurposing TikToks that aren't yours. So that's cringy and it's also kind of useless. It's like, why are you putting all that energy? You got 10 million views, but then what? It's not your content. They're not going to follow you necessarily. They may follow you because they like the trends, but you're not getting anything. There's nothing if you're using it for business. If your point is to make money or your point is to grow your following, or later on you want to get a record deal or a book deal, whatever it is that you want to do, the end game is not just sharing people's TikToks. So that's cringy because it's like, and then when I saw someone do this the other day. They didn't have a link that linked to anything. So I'm just like, oh, that's a wasted opportunity. You have 10 million.
I don't appreciate you calling me out like that.
Okay. Do you have a link?
I have several I think idea pins that I just threw up there that I never even put like affiliate links on. I just put them up to put them up. But I'm like, you're looking at my profile.
So I'm just like, you can be making money off of this stuff. That's how I feel when I see these YouTubers and they're on Pinterest. I just be like, oh.
If you and that's the thing is I think that it should absolutely, I think that people should be on YouTube and on Pinterest and on TikTok. Instagram is kind of like, it's okay, but like it is what it is. And so I'm like, I guess if you're going to pick 4, like there you go, there's 4, Instagram/Facebook. But I'm just like, I feel like there's so much potential when it comes to Pinterest that's just untapped. And I know it's definitely something that I want to get. I've ignored it for so long. I think I had a if this then that little applet that would run that anytime I would post a YouTube video in the past, it would just post the thumbnail, into a Pinterest board of mine called like Shelly's YouTube videos. And so like I did one of those like set it and forget it like many years ago. And I was just like, oh, you know what? I should actually create a pin for that video, or I should actually create like a little video for it. And it's so much better. And I feel like I should know better. And and I know exactly where you're coming from. It's like, it's one more platform, but I was just like, but I think it's going to be a good, I anticipate it's going to be a good one. So
yeah, and you'll get traffic, especially because like I said, even though they prefer the vertical, if you're the only person that the video, they don't care it's not vertical. People want that information. Like the people who find these random weird things and they pin it and they like it. And I'm like, what's going on there? It's like they looked and there was nothing else. So they just had to have their little crappy pin I did 10 years ago. That's all they had. So they're like, okay, we'll take it. So it doesn't matter if you did it a long time ago. If you're the only one on the platform, and believe me, you guys, there are a lot of you guys who created videos that if you were to put on Pinterest, you'd be the only one. So when people search, they have no other option but to click your video, even if you didn't do the vertical pins, even if you just pin it straight.
I think right now it's about volume on Pinterest, because honestly, all I did was start putting some of my videos. I did a live stream about shorts actually, and then about YouTube shorts. And then I ripped it into 20 different vertical short videos about YouTube shorts. And I tossed them all up on YouTube and on TikTok and on Pinterest. And to this day, I get more views and impressions from Pinterest than anywhere else, which is just weird to me. And even just repurposing stuff that I have right now, like I have to say, like, honestly, I don't try, and I still would get like 200,000 impressions every month. And I'm like, that's a lot of impressions. And I'm like, imagine if I tried, or like and I was just like, yeah, I got to get on my Pinterest game. So, Mr. Camera Junkie. I'm sorry. Oh, no.
Because I had a client like that, the same thing like you. Like she was just getting it for doing nothing. So then we actually tried, her thing just went up. And I was like, see, if you'd actually been trying all this time, you would have like...
Right? I know, but I know exactly where that other person was like, one more platform. And I'm like, this platform, I think it's going to give dividends. Okay, Mr. Camera Junkie says, I really dislike that about TikTok, that some creators are getting a lot of backing using sounds that aren't even theirs as well. So one thing that I find interesting, they do come out specifically, whether in the YouTube community or Instagram, making their posts saying that visible watermarks for items from other platforms will definitely be suppressed and not pushed out as much. Now, I still see tons of TikTok and TikTok watermarks on Pinterest, but I'm not, it won't be that long before Pinterest as well is going to be like, we don't want these watermarked things, right? So I feel like creating outside of is always going to be like a good plan, or getting the non-watermark version is still going to be... we just had our very first super chat. Are you ready to boogie?
I'm boogieing already.
I did. Okay. So for anyone also who's watching, I always put out an email in the calendar event saying like, hey, if by some chance we get a super chat, we may have to boogie. And we got through almost the entire live chat. And I was like, maybe we don't have to boogie, but Kendrick Foster coming in with the super chat. So now I'm going to have to find a song so we can boogie. 1 second here.
I know, and I'm boogieing already from you talking. I'm like dancing from your talking.
Okay. And here we go. Wow, that was awesome. Okay. Something tells me that you wanted that to keep going on and on. I saw you like, under the sea. I'm like, oh yeah.
It's a big fan.
Okay, so last thing we'll hit people with. Thank you so much, by the way, Kendrick Foster, for your super chat. Thank you so much. One thing I want to leave them with is if you're someone who's brand new to Pinterest or you are feeling the overwhelm, you don't even know where to start. What would you say, like 3 tips for someone brand new to Pinterest and starting out?
Okay, the first thing I would say is go on the platform and explore and just see what's all there. And if you're specifically interested in for business, while you're exploring, do a search. Go in the search tabs and search the stuff that you're interested in or stuff. If you were to be on that platform for business, what would you be doing? What would you be selling? What would you be talking about? And see who's already there. So that's number one. It's kind of like exploring. I think that's for any platform.
Oh, we're gonna have to pause real quick. Because Howabunga and Sketch My Store. Okay, hold on. We get it. We'll have to do a dance and then a tip and then a dance and then a tip. Okay, we'll give it a second. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Cabbage Patch. Remember the Cabbage Patch?
Do it. This mic is in the way.
The bunk head bounce. I don't even know the bunk head bounce. Is that how you do it? I'm not even quite sure.
Now you got the whole wide ways to do it. Oh!
I was doing Roger Rabbit. You guys, young kids don't know about the Roger Rabbit and the Running Man. Like the old school Running Man.
That was so good. So good. Everyone out there, clap for JJ. Clap for JJ. All right, we did tip 1, which was go on the platform, actually see what's going on. Okay, hit him with the next one. What do you got?
Okay. So if you've never been on Pinterest before and you want to get on, the next thing I would say is I really want to say claim it for business. I don't know. I keep saying it over and over and over again. But the reason why, if you can, is because just to see the access to the data alone, just like to see the trends, like you're just going to be blown away how it's going to help you in your YouTube channel, because a lot of times you just don't know what to do. You might not, you just don't know what trends, what's trending, what's rising, because you just don't know. Like you're like, I'm not cool. I don't have hip. I don't have friends. But if I go on Pinterest, I'm going to know what's cool. I'm saying, okay.
I don't have friends.
Okay. Yeah, I know. But so I said, okay, so what's the Euphoria aesthetic? All right, cool. All right. Puff jackets. All right. Yeah, I can go get a puff jacket, but so it's kind of like if you're not necessarily know what trending content to do, what people are at, because you just fill out a loop, that's really great. Claiming the Pinterest for business is going to give you access to that data, the trends and things like that. And then the third, we did the dance.
No. Now we got to dance, right? You got to dance for the last one. Here we go. And this one is a thank you for a Sketch My Story. The other one was from Howabunga. Here we go. Last one.
This is like my TLC. No scrubs. No scrubs. Bogle. Remember the Bogle?
Oh, yeah.
Jamaican. We had to do the butterfly. Remember the butterfly? The Tootsie Roll. Let me see you. Tootsie Roll.
Oh yeah, I gotta stand up.
Oh my God, Hawaii Street twerking in here. I won't call you out Hawaii Street twerking. I don't know how to twerk. Right.
Oh, that one's fun. That one's fun, right?
I have a workout on. Yes. I mean, you have to go to the gym now.
I will say, so I'm auditioning for this dance team, and oh my goodness, every time I'm done with the dance, I'm like, oh my God, I should have better cardio than I do, but I don't. All right. So last tip is
Oh my God. I just
Squirrel
danced away
brain,
the
bring it
chip.
back.
I know, like, okay. The last thing I had was, I said the data, the analytics. No, it's not analytics. It was something else going to say to you. It's like claim it for business. So just research, claim it for business. And I guess it's part of research, but kind of like just look at your own data and see what works best, like what pins are doing well. Like when you pin something, look at what's resonating with people and look at what's like successful. I'm always a
Well, let's
big
back it
believer,
up.
like,
This is someone who's they're not looking at their data yet. They
okay,
don't even
okay,
know
so
where to
they're not
start.
working
So
it.
how do you even
Oh
know and
yeah,
decide what
yeah,
to make a
yeah.
pin on? How about
Where to
that?
pick a pin on. Okay, so I guess it's kind of like, what resonates with you, like when you go on the platform, what
Okay.
attracts you. Yeah, so you click on there, you're like, oh my God, this is so neat. I wish. And isn't that what we all do?
Yep.
Like you get ideas from other people, you're like, oh my God, that's so cool. I love that. So if you love that and you did that, other people love it as well. So it's kind of like just do a search, not just for what's trending. I mean, so yeah, the first, yeah, research, but when you do the third level of it, is kind of like look to see what attracts you. Like just go in there for the simple purpose of seeing what's attractive, what you like, what's different for you. Yeah, and then say, okay, maybe can I do this? Can I replicate this? Can I move this into my workflow? Like I do that every single day, every week. I'm seeing something like, can I move this in? Is this something I could possibly do, or can I do a modified version what's easier and simpler if I have help, or can I, what I mean? So that's what it is. Try to see if what works that you like and replicate success models. That's like on my tombstone is going to say, she wants you to replicate success models. She was here replicating success models.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, that's my
Well, we
motto
have
of life.
shared so much information with everyone. I hope y'all have totally learned a few things. I'm not
Yes.
going to say just one thing because I'm sure you learned more than one thing. So a few things together. So first of all, let's get a round of applause for JJ for all of
Thank you.
the knowledge bumps. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now we're going to say goodbye to the people. Hold on for 1 second though, and I'll say goodbye to you right after we say goodbye to the people. All right.
Okay.
So everyone out there, thank you so much for hanging out with us on this Thursday. Thank you to the super chatters as well and being so awesome to us this whole live stream. And if you want to come see me again next Thursday for another episode of Triple T, tune in 5:30 and we will see you then. Thanks everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.